Hello, we are looking at example 3 found in lesson 1-1 of your pre-calculus textbook. This is pretty basic, but it's talking about using graphing technique to do what's called the point plotting method. If we wanted to graph y equals the absolute value of x, then we just need to select some integers for x. And you can pick any x value that you want because x is an input value. So you could literally choose any value that you wanted to pick. They are suggesting, however, just to kind of get you started, is that you pick from -3 all the way up to +3. Just to give you a good, I know that's a lot of points. It's about 7 points, but over time you can probably narrow that down and maybe just do 4 or 5 points. But they want you to go from -3 to +3. So that's why those are listed down the x column. Now, to find the y value, which is what that's going to be equal to, we're going to have to take the square root of each one of these. So you could see they've substituted in -3 there, -2 there, -1 there, and they've put the answer here. The absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value of -2 is 2, 1, 0. The absolute value of 1 just stays 1. The absolute value of 2 stays 2. The absolute value of 3 stays 3. And so those answers are your y values. Okay, these become your y values. So they write them as an ordered pair. When you put -3 in for x, which was out of this first column over here, then you've got 3 for the y, which is out of your second column. They're literally just putting those together as ordered pairs all the way down through there. Now, if you'll plot these points and connect them, which is what they've done over here in this graph, they've plotted those points and then connected the dots, and then you could see that the graph is a V-shaped graph, and that will always be the case for absolute values. So for every point xy on the graph, the point -xy is also on the graph. This shows that the absolute value of a positive number is the same as the absolute value of its opposite. Okay. Now, if we were going to graph x plus 1, we would start off the same way. You would start off with your -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, blah, blah, blah. Then you would make you a column where that you actually do the math in between. So this would be -3 plus 1, taking the absolute value. Well, that ends up being -2, but the absolute value of that becomes 2. So this is your x column, this would be your y. If you plugged in -2, it's the absolute value of -2 plus 1, which is -1, so that's the value that's going to be 1. So you would start writing that as -3 +2, -2 +1. And what you're going to find is, because this 1 has been added, this V graph is going to be the same thing. It's just everything's going to be 1 higher than what it was originally. And when you reconnect those dots, you end up with the same V shape. It's just going to be 1 higher than it was in the original graph. Okay? Best of luck on this.